Okay, story time. A couple months ago, I road tripped up to Sydney. We drove up, and as one does, I used my GPS. I used that all the way from Melbourne up to Sydney. So there's parts of Melbourne that I obviously know, that's my city. There's parts of the drive that is literally just following a straight highway, so you can zone out of that a little bit. And then there's Sydney that I don't know about. So once we reached Sydney, we were driving fine. At Sydney, I swap over with my passenger, and they take over. At the next instruction, same GPS, same instructions. At the next instruction, I think it was something like, at the next exit, take the next exit, right? They turn to me and they go, what do I do? It's like, didn't we just hear the same instruction? It says take the next exit. Just take the next exit. You can see on the screen, the blue lines is veering into an exit. Okay, we take the next exit. And then there's another turn. It said, at the third turn of the roundabout, take the third exit. Roundabouts are funny that way because there's so many different ways you could do. You can't just say turn right because you might have lots of different directions. It might not just be straight. Anyways, so I was at a roundabout and they turned to me and they're like, what do I do now? Okay, take the next roundabout, take the third exit. Like, I'm just parroting to you what they just said. And you can see it. You can see the icon, and you can see that. So why are they having had such a hard time following it? And I was able to follow. Okay, I understand. Take the second exit. Now the next day, right? So that was at night, so there wasn't as much traffic. Fine. The next day, I'm driving, and I'm noticing that I'm able to follow the GPS, but around me, in the surroundings, I do miss some things. So as I'm listening to the GPS, like I didn't realize a sign, or I didn't realize that the light had turned green. Things that normally day to day are things that you notice straight away, right? When you're driving day to day, there are some things around you on the road, on the buildings around you, on the road signs, that you just absorb subconsciously without even thinking about it. And when I realized is, GPSs are not so simple, right? We have come quite a long way from things like Melways and MapQuest, probably more familiar with, but Melways in Melbourne. It's practically unheard of to, I don't know, when's the last time that you stopped at the side of the road in order to take out your big fat Melways or your printed off MapQuest and see the next couple instructions? We don't do that, right? The GPS has turn by turn directions, right? This is where we only focus on the next turn. It's itemized bit by bit, little piece of information, very easy to see. We have the map. It's definitely improved, but we're still not there yet. We still have daily. We have question. Wow, one word and you can throw your brain off a little bit. So I've had it, and in the world, daily we hear stories of things going wrong in driving. A lot of accidents happen from very easy, simple things. A lot of things come from misdirections in GPSs and people get confused, things like that. So why haven't we yet solved it? What's still hard? Why is it that when I go into a very unfamiliar place, I'm missing some things. I'm not able to really focus on the GPS and have this deluge of new information that's just like taking up all my cognitive load, all my brain resources, and I'm not able to really juggle both all this new information on these new ways of driving and this with these directions. Why are other people at the very onset just shutting down, like a completely new foreign place, and suddenly just like every direction, it's just like it's shut down. The GPS is so scary. It's so like, ugh, they need another human being to like kind of tell them the same thing. And like, what is it more reassuring? What is this GPS getting wrong? What is the design of the current GPS getting wrong, and how can we improve it? So I think firstly, if we look at styles of directions, right? We have like kind of three styles. Let's say we have style zero, where this is where we don't even use it. We don't turn on GPS. We don't need it. We've driven this way before. We know everything. This is like driving home. and driving to work. We've done this tens of thousands of times. We do it subconsciously. Then we have number one, where probably most of us fall into. We kind of know the area. We drive this maybe every day, once a week. We know the area. We're familiar with how things are going. We just want to know what's the best route to get there. Traffic, there might be hazards, accidents. I'm not super familiar with every single turn that I need to do, but I know the general area. And then you got level 2, where completely foreign place. It's now no longer the metric system. You don't know the street names. You don't know the rules of the road. The markings are very different. How you park, where you park. Am I allowed to be here? Am I allowed to overtake? Can I not overtake? All these different things that we need to now absorb we're completely unfamiliar. There's so many things to do, and good luck having a conversation with someone that's following the GPS in these kind of areas, right? Person on zone 1, on area 1, where he doesn't use it, he can multitask, right? This guy can make you an ice cream, right? He can do anything. He's not thinking about it. Everything's subconscious. 2, yeah, you can have things going on. Number 3, you're asking people to turn down the volume so you can find the address on the street. You're rewinding constantly or going back on a podcast that requires a little bit of listening to. You can't focus on 2 things at once, because there's a huge cognitive load that's going on that the directions are requiring from you. Now, they're supposed to be simple. There's 3 different types of directions. You have icons, you have the instructions, and then you have the distance to the next one. And there's lots of different things that can go. That can go. There's a lot of things that come into play. It's supposed to be bite-sized information. It's supposed to be simple, but we see that in scenarios 1 and 2, they're not as simple. We kind of want to get us to level 0, right? We want to get to a point where it's so seamless. It's so unconscious. We don't have to think of it. Sorry, it's so subconscious. I should merge those 2 words together. It's so subconscious you don't even think about it, right? Wouldn't GPS be amazing? Wouldn't directions be amazing in places that places like 1 and 2? Now, I think part of this is, let's move away from instructions and let's move to showing them, right? It's much easier if someone shows you something rather than they just instruct you and tell you what to do and they don't actually show you the steps, right? Augmented reality can do this, right? This is a power of augmented reality. It can literally show on the road. It's like, look, do this. It's not telling us what to do for the next instructions. It's literally showing it to us. And the simplest way that I can think of, at least right now, is if I, on the road, the lanes that I'm supposed to be following, if they were painted a different color. I call this concept for the Olympic Road. You're literally just following that road that's a certain color, right? It can be blue of your navigation. There is no thinking involved. Subconsciously, your brain is just registering every couple seconds after you do this. Is my lane blue? Yes, good, I'm good to go. Is my lane not blue? Is it just the normal asphalt? Okay, I gotta fix this. This works in so many different scenarios. This works in levels 0, 1, and 2. You don't have to think about it. It's subconscious. It works on a 4-lane highway. It doesn't matter what speed you're going in, and there's an exit coming up in a kilometer or 2. You're knowing this information from an area. I can see visually the entire highway is painted blue up until that exit. I can see that exit is what I need to do. I can see when I need to safely merge. There's a roundabout with 8 different tentacles coming out of that. I don't have to. There's no instructions. There's no icons. I don't need any of that. I can literally see, boom, right? In Australia, think of like a bus lane or a bike lane, right? When you're on a bike lane, you don't have to think, oh, is the bike lane going to continue after the lane? Is it after the lights? Is it going for another 100 meters? Oh, is it turning in the next? No. You literally just make sure that you're on the lane that's green. If the lane is not green, you're not on the bike lane, right? As long as the bike lane is green, you just follow that. There's no other instructions needed. This is what we can bring to driving. How we do it, right? All the technology behind it, I've done before in videos. You have with the Tesla videos, the Tesla Augmented Navigation. Go watch those. Go read the articles that I read about Follow the Olympic Road. We might do a video on it and probably have that Tesla spin. We might go into that again in one of these idea videos. But for now, that's the main idea. Shabbat Shalom, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys in the future.